Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost for $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 76-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website. We've got these quoters on just about every page, and just select the state that you live in and then select the coverage amount. And then fill out your birthday and the rest of this, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page where you can see actually the best companies in the state and the lowest rates. And from there, you can be a super smart consumer and can compare it to some of these other advertisements and stuff you see on TV that always seem to be too good to be true. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. That's our toll-free number. You can talk with a licensed agent. Now, first thing you need to consider if you're a 76-year-old female is $5,000 going to be enough for your burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, funeral funds needs? Now, if you're going to be cremated, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is right around $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of ceremony with that, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500, including the cremation. That would be like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony or something like that. So if you've got $5,000 worth of coverage, that's probably going to be quite accurate for the most part. But you know, you're 76. What if you live to 86? Is that going to be enough? So if you get $5,000 and you're just wanting to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, that's going to inflation-proof you quite a while for your insurance. It's probably fairly adequate. Most people would go somewhere between $5,000 to $7,000. Now, if you're going to have that ceremony, then we would probably recommend maybe $7,000 to $10,000. Now, we don't recommend over-insuring. A lot of times people will say, hey, I want to get $25,000 or $30,000 and leave some money behind for my family. And at age 76, the insurance does tend to get a little bit more expensive. So if it's within your financial means to do that, by all means, go ahead and do it. But most people we work with and help are on a fixed or limited income. And we would tell them, just cover your basic needs for your final expenses and don't overspend on getting extra coverage. We'd rather see you spend that on yourself and your family while you're alive, and you'll have those memories the rest of your life, and your family and loved ones and children will have those memories the rest of their life as well too. Seems like money well spent to do it that way instead of giving it to an insurance company. Now, if you're going to be buried, the actual cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. And I can tell you one thing, that's not going to be anything fancy by any means, but if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, chances are they're going to get it done for you. It'll be a very simple affair. But we just can't see many places letting a $10,000 check walk out the door and go down to one of their competitors down the street. But again, if you're looking at $5,000, that's certainly not going to be enough. But maybe you've got a $5,000 or $10,000 policy from before. You already had that, and you know you've just been blessed to live a long time, and that used to be enough coverage, but it's not enough coverage anymore, and you just want to add coverage to it. You could easily add $5,000 to it, and that would probably take care of your needs. But at age 76, most people we're helping are looking for somewhere between maybe $10,000 to $15,000, maybe $20,000, but probably more $10,000 to $15,000, just to be more budget friendly. And keep in mind, if you're on a tight budget and you have to start with a smaller amount, we can always help you add more coverage. Now, one thing we always recommend is get first day coverage or approvals, first day coverage and benefits, and then make sure you get that approval right away. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that sell 2-year waiting period plans only. We don't recommend them, and I'll go over those in just a moment. But yeah, we recommend you stay away from those. So first day coverage, what that means is if your policy was approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay, even though the policy was only in effect for 1 day. Now, sometimes people will say, well, I like the first day coverage, but I know those plans ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. So what we tell people in situations like that is, hey, your health is our problem, not your problem. That's why we work with so many different insurance companies because they all have different underwriting requirements. They all have different health questions. And we're getting first day coverage really 90 to 95% of the time for our clients. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. And if that were the case, then we'd probably refer you out to a different company. And sometimes not sometimes, it kind of seems like every week anymore, we'll get somebody that will call us and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they didn't have insurance, and we don't have the money, and their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director is not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get a check in our hand to get to the funeral home, get that check to the funeral home director. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that will issue a policy on somebody who's already died. That's not the way this insurance works, unfortunately. So it's just really sad that that person who died knew they were going to die someday, and they just kind of rolled the dice and put this off, and then they went and died. And now their family is struggling both financially and emotionally. And what a terrible position to put your loved ones in, after you pass away. It's really inexcusable. And this insurance is affordable. You should have it. You're going to die. Don't be that person that puts this on your family without their knowledge, and suddenly you pass away and their whole world is falling apart around them. And now you throw this big, huge expense, which creates this huge emotional impact on them. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. So one thing we don't recommend is the 2-year waiting period plans. Now, Colonial Penn, they are probably one of the most, not most, but they're definitely more well-known, probably because they're advertising on TV all the time. Seems like they've got their commercials on TV every 7 minutes. It's an awful lot. And their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. Most people don't know that. 2-year waiting period. You absolutely should avoid 2-year waiting periods. Now, there's other companies out there too that offer 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United Omaha line. There's AIG, Gerber, and there's a whole bunch of other companies out there too. And the only thing they sell is a 2-year waiting period policy. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that the only thing that they'll ever qualify for is a 2-year waiting period plan. And nothing could be further from the truth. When we hear that, we frequently go, you don't be suckers, right? Because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, you could probably find a 76-year-old female who's seen a Colonial Penn commercial, and they go, my golly, for $9.95, I am probably going to get $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 or maybe even $50,000. I am so smart that I waited until age 76. I outsmarted Colonial Penn. And then our 76-year-old female calls Colonial Penn or goes on their website like we've done here and sees that a 76-year-old female for $9.95 is only going to get 1 unit of coverage for that $9.95. That's going to pay out $724 is all. Now our 76-year-old female doesn't quite feel so smart, unfortunately. $721 is not even going to pay for a cremation in any place that we know in the United States. And it doesn't really matter because this plan's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out for 2 years if our 76-year-old female dies of any health or medical related cause of death. So, boy, you really got to be aware of the marketing out there. Do you think that if you call a company that's offering 1 unit for $724 and that's not enough coverage, do you think there might be like an upsell, an upsell coming on to try to sell you more and get it much more expensive than $9.95? So let's take a look and see what right around $5,000 worth of coverage would cost. Now, a 76-year-old female can't get $5,000 worth of coverage because these per unit pricing always comes out with these little kind of wackadoodle numbers like 724. So we're going to have to just kind of guess. I guess maybe let's try 6 units. Nope, not quite there. Got to go up to 7 units. Okay, see what I mean? There's a wackadoodle number. 7 units for $5,068. Most other insurance companies, you can say, hey, I want $5,000, but no, Colonial Penn, $5,068. That $68 must be important for something to Colonial Penn. But that is right around $70, so $69.65. So let's go and look at a first day coverage company and see what $5,000 would be and see if there's any savings. I guarantee you there is. $5,000 for a female, age 76. Right here, come on, computer. Age 76. I'm going to click Get Quote. Let's go back and look at this again. Roughly $5,000 for roughly $70, and we can get first day coverage for $39. We work with Trinity Life Insurance Company. They're a great company. First day coverage, fast approvals. You get an approval answer over the phone. Level coverage means first day coverage, but $40 for $5,000 right up here. So when you look at this, you go, that's $40, and this is $70. So it looks like the Colonial Penn is just under 200% higher, just under 200% more expensive. And Colonial Penn will approve you, and they will allow you to overpay on that policy for the rest of your life. And they will force you to have that 2-year waiting period when you could get first day coverage. And this is $70 and this is $40. That's $30 difference, roughly. You'd be overpaying $360 a year more. And after 10 years, you would overpay $3,600, roughly $3,600 more on a $5,068 policy. Tell me, does that make sense to overpay that much? Most people would say, no, absolutely not. Let's save the money. Let's get first day coverage, and let's not overpay every single month for the rest of your life. Now, let's look at some other companies out here too. And you'll be able to see all these different companies on our quoter. Find a couple. Well, here's one like Lumico. Their level coverage, $49, but it's $49 versus, right? $49 versus $40. $10 extra a month, that's $120 a year. After 10 years, you'd overpay $1,200. Why throw away $1,200 when you don't have to? Makes no sense. And let's find another one here. Oh, here's one. Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. I mean, their pricing's much higher. Now, their level coverage, that's good, but that pricing's higher. Now, the reason is Lincoln Heritage, their plan, when you pass away, they will price check 2 or 3 different funeral homes to kind of supposedly get the lowest price. They may do a couple of other things too, but you're going to end up overpaying for that insurance. You're going to end up overpaying because they don't offer that for free. So this is roughly $58. And we're here. This is roughly $39. So it's roughly $20 more, give or take. So with Lincoln Heritage, you're going to overpay roughly $240 a year. And after 10 years, you would roughly overpay, that would be right around $2,400. You'd overpay roughly $2,400. Now you got to ask yourself, is that worth you overspending $2,400 roughly? Is that worth it to have a company make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so? That seems like a pretty good payday for the insurance company. We don't recommend that. What we actually do at Funeral Funds of America, we actually provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you can get that on our website for free. And you just print that out and you fill out who gets what goes where, and just fill out everything you want done after you pass away. And you just keep that next to your insurance policy. And when you pass away, your family goes to the insurance policy, and that provides them the money to pay for everything. And then you've got your funeral and estate planning guide, which guides them through the process that you predetermined that you want done after you pass away. And all you have to do is execute your wishes. And oh my gosh, what a relief for them. So you've not only protected them financially, but you've protected them emotionally. And you've saved $2,400 that you can spend on yourself or your family while you're alive. So yeah, we recommend you just be a smart shopper. We can help you be a smart shopper, and we can help you get approved for these great policies as well. So go to our website. We've got these quotas on just about every page. If you're one of our YouTube watchers, you can go to funeralfunds.com/YouTube. We've got a special quoter that gets you the best rates and most discounts in whatever state you live in. You can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Talk with an agent. And whether you've got an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to make sure you've got the best deal, or maybe you want to add coverage, we can help you out with that. If you need brand new coverage, we can help you out with that. If you just have questions that you want answered or need to understand these policies a little bit better, we can help you understand that too. So we look forward to helping you out with this. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.